Geocaching is defined as a game in which players are given the geographical coordinates of a cache of items which they search for with the GPS device. And this definition is given by the Merriam-Webster dictionary. A GPS is a global positioning system. It is about the size of a cell phone. In fact, if you have a smartphone, there's an app for that. I started geocaching when I was 5 years old. My dad and I went out on a snowy day in Michigan, and we went to this park that was right by my grandparents' house, and we hiked up this path, and it was right there in the crook of a tree, about the eye level of a 5-year-old actually. And ever since then, I haven't really stopped geocaching. If you go on the geocaching website and search for Team Mixter, you'll actually see that with my family, I found 572 geocaches. So, how do you geocache? Basically, you just go onto the website and you create an account. And the account's free, so all you have to do is create a name for yourself or your team, and then once you've created that, you can get started. What you do need to know though is that once you've started and you want to look for a geocache, there's all sorts of different types of geocaches. So they're based on difficulty and terrain, and also what size they are. So difficulty and terrain are divided up by stars, and so they go from half a star to 5 stars in half-star increments. And half a star, of course, is easy, and 5 stars is very difficult. Actually, there's very few 5 stars, terrain and difficulty. One of the 5-star terrain and difficulty geocaches is one that's called International Space Station, and it's actually on the International Space Station. But not all of them are that hard. Most of them are either you park at a restaurant or gas station and you just hop out of your car and you find it right there, or they're hike for just a little bit and it's off the beaten path. But like I was saying, there's also different sizes of geocaches. So you can have sizes from micro all the way to like camo boxes, and some are even bigger. I haven't really seen any bigger ones, but I do know they exist. So micro ones can be these little, they can be as small as a film canister or even smaller. And then there's the camo boxes. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're about that big and that wide, and you can put some things in them. Micros are normally what you find, they're called park and grabs, and those are the ones where you can step right out of your car and it's right there. They're mostly found on fences, benches, and like light poles, but really they can be anywhere because they're so small. And what you do is you just get out of your car and you walk right over, pick it up, sign a log really quick, and put it back. And that's as quick as they are for park and grabs. Most of the bigger ones are actually out. You have to like hike for them or go into a park in order to find those ones. So once you've picked which geocache you're going to go to, you need to mark it down in your GPS or your smartphone. You have to put the coordinates in, that way it actually shows you where specifically, up to about a 5-foot radius of where the geocache is supposed to be. So once you put it in, all you have to do is go search for it. So if it's one of the larger ones, you normally have to hike, and then you have to walk off the trail for maybe, the max that I've seen is probably 100 can't be too far off the path because most parks have leave no trace things in place. The bigger geocaches are actually better for little kids because you can actually put stuff in them. So when I was younger, me and my brother would go and we'd find all of the big ones. We didn't really do the micros until we were older, and the big ones weren't as exciting as when we were little. So the big ones you can put in like stuffed animals or like little puzzles or little things that can go in there, so that when you go with kids they have something that they can take. But if you take something, you always have to if you take something, you have to leave something. That way the next person that comes can also get something. There's also something called travel bugs. And these things are like little stuffed animals or little knickknacks that you want to travel around places. You can have them travel in the States, or you can just have them travel around the world. And they have to have a goal. So a lot of the times the goal depends on who the geocacher is. So if they're really into geocaching, maybe the goal for that travel bug is to go to every geocache there ever is. The goals don't have to be realistic. They just can be goals. I've seen ones that have a goal of visiting every geocache in Kentucky, or they can even have goals of like taking pictures of things. So it could have a goal of getting its picture taken at every baseball field in the United States. So, and it's really easy to get these travel bugs. All you have to do is purchase a little dog tag, and that has an ID number where you can track all the places that your travel bug has gone. So that's about the overall idea of what geocaching is. So, have fun geocaching. Alright, and here was my cameraman and my only audience.